Halfway between a nightmare about mosquitoes and an afternoon spent lounging with the family cat listening to Raffi on a 45, I asked a neighborhood father if God were the wind that bent the tree, or if it were God that bent in it. The look on his face was so peaceful. He told me God was in all of it. I imagine that he must have known that if you are honest with them, in children, all things are possible. And I do not know if it is rooted in the divine or descended from our DNA, but all of us are searching for God. Visiting a Sunday Buddhist prayer service, age 11, in one long breath, I asked a monk why everyone had been sitting on the floor, if meditation was praying to yourself, where enlightenment took you relative to heaven, why they had a giant copper bell hanging in the courtyard, and if they ever rang it. He opened his eyes wide with smile, and he spoke as slow as a flower blooming. We sit to study distraction and learn to eradicate it. In meditation, we seek to restore the true nature of the mind. There is only one mountain. Heaven and enlightenment are just different roads wrapped around it. The bell itself is irrelevant, but its hollow represents the wisdom of emptiness. Its clapper, the sound of the true nature of the mind, and it is silent. We search for God the same way we pump blood. We are bound to it as tight as to our stomach. Like food, it is not something you acquire once, but something you must consume daily. I ask everyone I meet about God, and everyone has something to say, has some scrap of God in their pocket. As often as not, people don't even know we are talking about it until we are. It is God in the weather and God in the war. A friend's father, a rabbi named Zalman, told me that if he discussed snow, he spoke in Inuit. But for business, English. But if he were to talk of God, he would rather do it in Hebrew. Because the Jews have more words for God than the Eskimos have for snow and Americans have for transactions combined. They've just spent longer talking about it. He says, people will tell you Judaism is all one thing. They will say Jews are like this or like that. They believe or live this way or that way. This is as foolish as saying there is but one prayer in the Torah. One prayer on your lips now, as if we all knew only one word or one love. When I was old enough to have lost my way, to have even less than one prayer to my name, I stopped looking. I stopped praying, and this time, a prayer found me. I remember the first time I saw it. The sweat lodge squatting low in the backyard, a dome of old army blankets and willow branches. It sits across from a fire pit, a hole the same size and shape as the lodge, as if a great hand, perhaps a god, had scooped the lodge right out of the ground. Between the two sits the altar, buffalo skull and cedar smoke. All the land there in the shadow of the Rocky Mountains is sacred space. All the land everywhere. But we came to pray in this one backyard, to sing and to be family. Tonantzin Tlalikuatlikwe is the grandmother, I learned. The mother, the earth and its motions beneath us. Totatzin Tonatiu is the grandfather, the father, the sun that swings above us. Omoteot is the duality, femininity and masculinity, night and day, sound and silence. It is that essence of difference. It is that which spurs change. Tonantzin Tlalikuatlikwe, Totatzin Tonatiu, watch over us. Grandfathers and grandmothers, ancestors, all my relations, watch over us. Doorway in, doorway out, bless the sacred spiral. All my relations, keep us close as we walk this path we have chosen. Love us and hold us tight. Tonantzin, Totatzin, Omateo. One prayer or many. Omateot. Om. Amen.